and liabilities.
This is the heart of the problem.
Precisely the point, Mr. President. Mr. President, the whole day today, or at least after, during the testimony of Mayor Atienza, it has been pointed out by the defense as their witness that Mrs. Corona, in transfer Basa Guidotti, received 34.7 million in cash. Isn't that correct? That's basically what the defense is saying.
That's the amount of the check, Your Honor, which was paid to her in her capacity
Correct.
as representative.
And based on the documents, this has been deposited in Land Bank. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Land Bank in Manila.
That's not clear, Your Honor. There was an allegation to that effect, but that is no evidence, Your Honor.
But isn't it correct as well that in previous testimonies, as of December 31, 2010, the cash in bank should have been in account number 089-121-021-681 7,148,238.83 cents. Account number 089-121-019-593 12,580,316.56 cents. That is in the PSBank, the 2 peso accounts. And then you have a BPI account with 12,024,067 pesos and 70 cents. If I look at the SAL-N of the Chief Justice as of December 31, 2010, cash and investment, various years, 3.5 million. Okay? There was also testimony and evidence that on December 12, 2010, a withdrawal was made of roughly 34 million. Or 2011. Isn't that correct? Yes.
That appears to be the evidence of the prosecution, Your Honor.
Correct.
If you are asking outside,
Yes.
Your Honor,
Yes.
just kindly wait. We are not yet through with our opportunity.
No, I understand. This is in relation to this 34 million Basa Guidotti.
Yes, our point is...
That's all I'm trying to point out. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Okay. Now, there was a withdrawal in December 12, 2011. May I ask the prosecutor, isn't that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And if I recall the testimony then, that this withdrawal was tinanggal yung pera dahil wala nang tiwala sa PSBank, and this money is the money of Basa Guidotti.
That is not the evidence for the prosecution.
Okay.
That was I think in the media, in the newspaper.
Okay. Is that the evidence of the defense?
Are you...
That withdrawal, that 34 million withdrawal.
Yes.
Is
what?
that, I may not have my notes now, no, but there was a withdrawal as testified here by the PSBank manager, if I'm not mistaken. 34 million ang withdraw noong December 12, 2011. And that is why hindi kailangan makasama naman yon dun sa SAL-N ni Chief Justice noong 2010.
Hindi po yun ang aming bersyon, ang aming depensa. Ang aming depensa is this money which allegedly were deposited, whether in the dollar account or peso account, are merely held in trust by Chief Justice Corona, Your Honor.
Correct.
Coming from the proceeds of the Basa Guidotti account and also the money sent to them by their children, Your Honor.
Okay. Pero basta maliwanag, itong 34, sa Basa Guidotti ito. And I'm following up the point of Senator Ping Lacson here.
If that question is directed to me,
yeah, it could be directed to both, yes, to the Defense Counsel.
well, we have not yet started presenting evidence in that regard. So how can there be an evaluation, an appraisal, and conclusion? I hope you clearly.
Yeah.
I hope as a judge in this case, Your Honor, I would plead most respectfully that kindly receive the evidence with an open mind, because if your mind are already closed, these are deposit, these are the money of Justice Corona, and they were not registered. Therefore, he has violated the provisions of SAL-N, Your Honor.
No,
in fact, even the allegations of paragraph 2 Article 2, Your Honor, under paragraph 2.2 and 2.3, there is nothing mentioned about the failure to state this and so on, or the irregularity.
Yes.
What
I
appears
just
is
want to assure the
non-declaration.
defense that I am not making a conclusion. I'm just trying to understand the evidence presented here, whether testimony or documentary, and what is being presented by both the prosecution and the defense. Because right now, that's the way I see it, and this is the more important, I think, issue now, is that we're almost done with the real properties. And we're already now talking, this has relevance to cash in bank, liabilities as reflected in the SAL-Ns. And I promise the defense that I will listen to every piece of evidence
Thank you.
that you will present in this court,
Thank you, Your Honor.
and seek some clarification if necessary, similar with the prosecution.
What,
Yes.
with respect to that, to the statement from Senator Recto regarding the PSBank accounts, I think on the part of the prosecution, it's very clear, Your Honor, that based on our offer of evidence, all those bank accounts in the year-end
Correct.
balances in the name of Renato Corona, we presented it as evidence. It should belong to us. It belongs to the Chief Justice.
Maybe you can
so
correct me.
that is the position.
I could be right or I could be wrong. But, I'm giving you the opportunity to correct my impression. Okay? Last question. I go back to the 34.7 million. It may not be the same amount, but my recollection is, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, December 12, there was a withdrawal,
That's correct.
roughly the same amount. Okay,
Roughly,
the same
yeah.
amount. Okay, as testified here by the branch manager.
But that's
Yes, ma'am.
34,700,000.
Yes, something to that
Should
effect.
be netted by 11 million that was reflected in the SAL-N of the Chief Justice as liability advanced from Basagidote.
There were numerous occasions in the past, Mr. President, that there were liabilities of 11 going down to 5 until it was fully paid, apparently in 2009, if I recall. My data is in my desk. I don't have it right in
In
front
2010,
of me. Or in
it was fully
2010.
paid.
It was fully paid.
As it
And
appears in the
therefore,
SAL-N.
It does not appear in 2010.
That's
it
correct.
appears in 2009, the last account.
That's correct, Your
Right?
Honor.
So parang nabayaran din niya. And that's why, in December 12, kompleto pa rin yung halaga. In trust for nga naman eh.
Oh.
That's all I'm trying to drive at. Now,
Yeah, but our position,
Sure.
Your Honor, just to make it very, very clear, all those bank accounts submitted as evidence belong to the Chief Justice because it was in his bank account, including the 3 bank accounts withdrawn and later on deposited
Okay.
in the same bank on December 11,
I
2012.
understand the position of the prosecution. Whether it makes sense or not, I will not make a judgment at this point in time. But from the defense, would you care to comment on that?
Depends. And it is not our evidence, Your Honor. Is
Yeah,
that not unfair?
We understand. I understand.
Thank you,
The
Mr. President. I
clarification
will no
must
longer
come from
belabor
the
point.
prosecution, not from the defense. That's not our evidence, Your Honor. In fact, we are just starting. We have not yet presented the Chief Justice if he will testify, the wife, Your Honor. That's my point. All the summation made by the Honorable Chairman Recto, Your Honor, appears to be on the basis solely of the evidence for the prosecution, and to us, it appears, and I hope the court will understand us.
Wait a minute, counsel. In fairness to Senator Recto, the vice mayor of Manila, the former mayor of Manila, was presented
Yes, Your
as a
Honor.
witness by the defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he testified that the city of Manila paid 34.7 million.
34.7, Your Honor.
34.703
Yes.
million pesos to Mrs. Corona
That's correct.
in trust for Basagidote Enterprises Incorporated.
If the clarification, Your Honor,
And,
I'm sorry,
and-
and apologize.
And that's why he was talking about that amount was deposited in the according to the check deposited in the account in the deposit account of Mrs. Corona. Whether it was included among the alleged bank deposits of the Chief Justice has not been shown by any evidence.
Precisely, Your Honor. If the question or the clarificatory question were limited to those facts testified by the Honorable ex-Mayor Atienza, we'll have no problem, Your Honor. Our problem is the apprehension of apparently unfairness to the defense because hindi pa kami nagsisimula eh. Insofar as the deposit is concerned, we never have touched that in our evidence, Your Honor.
Correct. But the judges are relating that precisely to inform themselves about their anticipation of the explanation of what they heard about the bank deposits. I hope you understand the position of the members of the Senate who are not lawyers.
We do, Your Honor, we do. And we will try to be very, very meticulous and also fair in judging how our evidence and the evidence of the prosecution will be appraised and weighed by this honorable court. We have we have an abundance confidence and trust in the manner that
So far as this chair is concerned, the defense has presented the former mayor of Manila to establish the fact that there was a transaction between the city of Manila and the Basa Guidote Enterprises Incorporated regarding the sale of a piece of land where the city of Manila paid that enterprise through Mrs. Corona the amount of 34,703,800 pesos. So that's the gist of the evidence presented by the defense
yes, Your Honor.
this afternoon. Where that 34,703,800 pesos move in the financial system is yet to be established.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, the court will note that...
And how that amount was treated by all the accounts where it moved.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you very much for the clarification.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, there are no other matters. Therefore, Mr. President, may we ask the Sergeant at Arms to make an announcement.
The Sergeant at Arms will now make an announcement.
Please all rise. All persons are commanded to remain in their places until the Senate President and the Senators have left the session hall.
Mr. President, there being no other business for the day, I move that we adjourn until 2 p.m. of Monday, 7 May 2012.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The trial is hereby adjourned until 2 o'clock in the afternoon of Monday, May 7, 2012.